Shorty coming out of the suburbs. Don't think it's sweet, boo, you can still get murked. My name all in your mouth, bet it tastes like dessert. Mad I got the juice and you dry like the desert. Why you mad, ayy? Cause I'm in my bag, ayy. Worry about me, worry about your showing price tag. See me glowing up and all these haters wanna be mad. Stuck in the same spot while I'm getting jet lag. Catch me out of state, making a movie coming great. Ain't solid now, but when you eatin', everybody wanna plate. Wanna see it at the table, wanna act like they grateful. Don't mess with outsiders, y'all looking real unstable. If anything, they should ask me how I do it. Start taking notes, recording my every movement. I know that I'm the best and I ain't gotta. What's up, everyone? Welcome to KB's Community. I am your host, Kendall Bell. And today I am here with Milwaukee music blogger Watley.
Hello.
And artist Jay. I know Jai.
Officially.
You got a new name.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Officially.
So tell us what you were going by before. Because I remember.
I was going by JJ Rocket at the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but then I went through a whole little rebrand.
Okay. We're going to get into that. But yeah. So anyway.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good today. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
I just want to say thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. I love networking. You always are so nice and like you're just like you're like a genuine person. So when I see you out and about, like I just feel genuine vibes from you. So I don't mind working with you, you know.
Oh yeah, I try to keep the energy really right, especially being like a blogger. I know I'm going to end up meeting a lot of people, and it's just not the type of place or time to, not bring people together with what you're doing.
Absolutely. Okay, so then can you get into, I kind of just gave a really brief introduction into what you do. Mm-hmm. Can you, in your own words, tell everyone what it is that you do?
Okay, so it's kind of like multifaceted what I'm trying to get into, but what I'm stationed in right now is just everything with my website. I try to find different people at shows. Usually I talk to people and ask them how they're doing and what place they are with their music. And then I ask them, well, what's their kind of like their preferred thing they would want promoted. And I usually just put that up on my website. Or if I'm just looking around, I'll probably just do a write-up for a music video or some type of single that's released.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where I am now for that.
Cool. So how did you get into that? Like what piqued your interest in wanting to blog about the local music scene?
I used to do music myself a little while ago. And while I was on break, my good friend, Jai, we started talking about, getting back into the studio because we was, just kind of rapping back and forth. Mm-hmm. When he ended up having a project with some other singles out, we started going to shows and I really enjoyed it. And Jay was kind of like, well, if you're going to be out, you might as well, kind of see if you can do something on the scene. Yeah. Kind of started with just pictures, put stuff on the blog. And when we hosted our first show, it was supposed to just be, all right, we're just going to get one show this year and we're going to see where it go from there. And it went somewhere from there. And, now that's what we do.
That's dope. Yeah, I love that for you. I definitely have seen your growth over the past year. I've noticed a lot more people know who you are and what you do now.
I appreciate that.
So yeah, you're definitely building a brand for yourself.
I appreciate that. And then because the main thing I'm trying to do is as more people meet me and they come to the blog, they can see how much Milwaukee has going on.
Yes.
Because that's also what got me into it. Mm-hmm. There was a side of Milwaukee on the art scene that I kind of knew, but on a local level, like a lot of times I'll go to a show and be like, I don't know how many people's going to be there. And I'll meet like legit, like sometimes 45, 50 new people. And for it to be that active, I'm just like honored to be kind of part about it, just writing about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I do feel like as many people as we can get to bring attention to our local scene, eventually somebody's going to see it, Mm-hmm. And I do feel like there are a lot of eyes on us right now, actually. And a lot of people are starting to see how talented our city is. It's just about when, honestly, when the world or the rest of the country is going to know.
And people do people kind of do know because I haven't done like full travel, but in vacations I have. And my brother, who's a designer, shout out to his brand Visionary, but when he was living in Texas, like they were sharing memes about Milwaukee. So like like we have our dance and everything. Yeah. Like every time a song comes on, they would ask him like, hey, you gonna do this dance, you gonna do this, do you know like DC the Don, do you know like Certified Trapper, have you heard of AOE, this like that. So it was interesting talking to him when he was in college in Texas, like, hey, what's going on in Milwaukee right now? And it was like, yeah, out of nowhere, one year we switched from a lot of people's names being known.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still, I've even met some producers here. One of the first people I met here, my friend Bonnie, he said he knew some people out from LA who even got a spot out here in Milwaukee where so they commute back and forth. So there's some eyes that's seeing us right now. What they're doing is kind of picking the artists here
Mm-hmm.
and taking them back there.
Exactly.
Hopefully we can get something where we're kind of a hub more.
Yes, and that's I'm kind of along the same line of thought with that as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, we do see the talent in Milwaukee kind of get plucked out,
Hmm.
and then a lot of people once they're out of Milwaukee don't really like to give the credit back to it.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's for many different reasons, honestly. And sometimes not always their fault. But, but that's a different story.
Yeah. It's probably kind of how my little brother said it. It's like you go to a different state, and then when they only know like one thing or one person, it's kind of hard to like bring your whole city with
Right.
or sometimes, I mean, some people get they probably feel like at home somewhere else,
Yeah.
so they'll come. If they're big, they'll do like a show here. But I mean, if you're signed, I've seen how some contracts work here, even locally. I couldn't imagine what it's like getting signed by somebody out in LA, and you trying to be like, "Well, can I put my team on?" Like, yeah, after you fulfill
Exactly
A, B, and C.
And that really is how it goes.
Indeed.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to put on their whole team,
Mhm.
but right now they're just looking for that very specific thing,
Yeah.
that very specific person. So,
Mhm.
what are your thoughts?
I mean, I definitely see that a lot.
Mhm.
Which I was talking about, where only certain people have that like bigger audience, and then sometimes for the small artists here, that can look. Sometimes as a small artist myself, sometimes it looks like okay, they got all this clout, like what we like to call it,
Mhm.
and why not use that to help others? But then again, like I just said, sometimes they got to be able to solidify they spot first, and then
Right.
they do that. So that's why I try not to like get mad or like aggravated when I see stuff like that,
Mhm.
because like you have yourself thinking that more than actually focusing on making your own name bigger.
Right.
So
Right.
I try to just stay to myself for the most part.
Mhm.
I give credit when it's due, but I stay to myself for the most part, and
By stay to yourself, you mean you stay like out of?
Jay live in the studio.
yeah,
That's what
Okay.
he be like. He be
Yeah.
he be making some of these songs. For us.
yeah. I'm one of them guys that like I go to a show. If I like really mess with the artist that's performing that day, I'll go to their show. But like if I don't like sense like, oh, I can mingle with him or mingle with her, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna put myself in that circle, because I
Yeah.
know for a fact like we not gonna mesh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You make a different type of music than I will, so it's like it's no point in me even trying to even I mean, I know about you and I'm gonna support you, but I'm gonna usually do it by just listening to your music.
Mhm.
So like it's just I'm one of them guys that like if I know for a fact it's gonna be nothing but a high and by, then it's like I'm just gonna say to myself. That's why
Yeah.
I have like a solidified team. It's me, Watts, and like 2-3 other people. But other than that,
Yeah.
like I say, I stand myself.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Believe me, I do.
Yeah.
Because I mean, sometimes that's even the wiser thing to do.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's nothing wrong with supporting people, but also being able to do that without having to be in everybody's face all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, basically that's what I'm about, because we just started doing this
Yeah.
like in March, so we done seen the ups, we done seen some of the downs, we done seen glow ups, we done seen even fall down, so it's like
that's a lot in just a few months.
yeah, so like it's I just from an artist standpoint, I don't want that to happen to me and my team. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's like that's why I trust in them to do their part, and I trust in myself to do my part as an artist. So that's why I say I just stay to myself.
Yeah.
I don't try to come off as like, oh, I'm just trying to get to know you just because, you know what I'm saying? So it's just If I mess with your music, I mess with your music. If I don't, it's just like maybe it's just not for me. But I'm still gonna, if you genuine, I message you as
I
artist.
might still run your numbers.
Yeah,
but
I still run the numbers.
I just can't be at every show.
Yeah,
but I'm
basically.
gonna get there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I feel like you be at almost every show though.
And I think that goes into what Jay was talking about like we've really solidified our roles, because Jay used to be starting in between like March, April, and May, especially when we were performing. Jay was like almost at every show. There were some nights we was going to 2 shows a night.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And it's crazy because like it'll be him coming off of something. Like, and as you can see, there'll be days where he busy, and I'll be like, yo, you should cancel that and go to a show with me. You're like, what time it start? I have no idea. But like I also have to remember there's an artist first thing, then also I have to be the blogger.
Right.
So as he stopped going to certain shows, I noticed I finally got a mixtape from him and things like that. So it's like when we all play the role correctly, we work better as a team.
That makes sense.
Also I like, and then sometimes like I do get invited out to like cover something. So
yeah,
like last night I knew the host and about a couple of the artists, and I'm like, I always wanted to see y'all live. Let's see what it's like.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say that is your job. Like I said that just because I wanted to see what you were gonna say, but I mean it is literally your job to be at most of the shows. So yeah. Indeed.
And kind of like how it comes with me going to shows, I'll still go to a show where I know nobody. I'm surprised lately when I get to a show, I'll end up seeing somebody that I know.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it did not start that way. It usually started with me just kind of walking up to people, talking and being like, hey, if you want to be on the site, let me know.
Okay.
And that's how, and to be honest with you, that's how we got to where we are now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I do give him the most of the credit because, he helped. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm glad that from 7 months ago, it was like 8 now?
8 months, man.
8 months ago, look where we are now. So it's just like, we put that work in. You it shows after a while. So,
it does.
Yeah. So I'm happy that,
Because back then I never thought that people would be contacting me. Like I have a show I'm sponsoring in December, the day after my birthday, actually sponsoring something in January, and I have something set up for February. And between that, like some fashion shoot things. And I always tell people Milwaukee will open up to you if you show them you're very serious about what you do.
Exactly.
So what really helped me is I think going to people's shows and also like hosting some shows and things. Like me and Jay really have to sit down sometimes and be like, all right, how do we make a ticket? Like, how do we promote a show? How do we do this? And we didn't just wing it and say where it falls. We wanted to be serious.
Yeah.
And I think when people take notice of you being serious, I started the year legit with like all my posts were getting like maybe 4 likes, sometimes 0. Nobody would really visit the website and had like 100 followers. Now I was able to get a lot of people coming back and forth. I've had a couple posts go over 100, and I'm nowhere near a person that should really see numbers like that because I technically don't do music. I don't do much, but kind of just show up and show people love.
But the thing is, you realize how crucial that is to the scene, though, right? Not everybody can be an artist.
Exactly.
Like we literally need other components, like the bloggers and the people taking the pictures and running the shows. So, yeah.
And when it comes to the Milwaukee scene, I've had a couple people actually even say to me like, "Oh, bro, I'm trying to do what you do in a little bit." And what's really inspiring is I've had people who haven't graduated like high school before. Like I've gone to some Run Along shows, Run Along Forever's audience, like it really spans. So I've been at some of their basement shows, and it'll be like someone who's 16, 17 there, other people who's like 30 there. And it's like when I meet all those aspects of people, I've had like people who's younger than me come up and be like, hey, I want to start taking pictures too. I want to do this so I can be in the mix. And I'm glad because it shows that at least people coming up have some faith in Milwaukee.
Right.
And I don't know, like you probably got some people that come up to you, they'll see you and be like, oh, how do I get to like podcasting?
Yeah, I have actually started getting that.
Indeed. And I guess like not to question the person who's asking questions, but like, how do you go about giving advice? Like, do you ever get nervous? Because I never want to send nobody to the wrong area.
Yeah. Here's the thing, like, not the same thing works. The same thing does not work for everyone. There are components to different things that are going to be the same across the board. So, I mean, you can give them kind of basic instruction, but from there, they just kind of have to personalize it. Like, you can kind of help them get an idea of how to get into something, but from there, it's up to them to, kind of find their way of doing things.
That's true. Do you feel that way with music?
Like that. And I feel like that definitely comes with a saying, like, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink.
Exactly.
So, like, at the end of the day, like,
can't force them at
they
all.
gotta learn how to drink that water themselves. Like, you can tell them exactly how to do it, but it's, you know what I'm saying, for, like she said, for everybody, it's always different. So
the formula is gonna be a little different for
each time. Because what work for me may not work for Kendall.
Exactly.
What may work for Kendall may not work for you. So you know what I'm saying. So it's
And it's interesting because we still all connected at the end of the day. You
Exactly,
know, like
yeah.
if I'm blogging, if you're doing podcasts, or you're on stage singing, if you're doing music or getting into fashion, I'm always trying to figure out how can we all bring things together,
right?
So that we can work towards something, because that's how we're going to get like that notice.
We're so multi-talented, you know, and so it makes sense to all work together to showcase that versus just trying to showcase one of our artists.
And I feel like that's another big thing in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, it shouldn't be that way, because sometimes I can see it like. Certain people might get a little more attention than others. So it's just like, okay, I understand that. But, like, you know, I always say, like, I've been telling Watley about this for a while now. Everybody deserves that 15 minutes. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because you never know that the next big name could be out of Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. So that's why I said everybody, we all just pitch in, and like you said, like, we all do stuff together. You know what I'm saying? You can show that unity. Like, okay, we all trying to put each other, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, so that everybody can get their name out there just as much as the next person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that I'm hearing this conversation happen. I feel like I've heard this conversation, and I've had this conversation probably 3 times within the past week or 2. So it is actually comforting to know that there are people, a decent amount of us, with that mindset of let's all just kind of work together so that everybody can come up versus I need to be the top dog and stay the top dog, you know? Like, you know, we're in it together. We really are.
And if you really,
even if you don't want to be in it together.
And I feel like, if you really think about it, like, if we think about some of our neighboring, you know, states, like Chicago, a big example, like when you hear the next Chicago artists come out, you know what I'm saying, what they do, they usually, you know what I'm saying, shout their city out, shout out people that have helped them, shout out people that have been around them since they was a kid, you know, all that, you know what I'm saying. And I feel like we should be on the same thing, because not only Chicago do it, you got LA people that do it, you got Florida people that do it, you got New York, Atlanta, all of them. So like, at the end of the day, we should all just be taking notes, because, you know what I'm saying, that's the only way, you know what I'm saying, it's going to, Milwaukee going to get bigger than what it already is. So, yeah.
The interesting thing about that is, like, the cities that you mentioned, when we bring our talent out there, they do look at us and see like what else is going on, because they got so used to already having a scene. So they'll hear one Milwaukee artist and be like, okay, I'm finna go listen to 10 right quick. Now that doesn't guarantee you a fan, but if we repeatedly do something like that, and that's also, I mean, not to go too far in the future, but that is the next step for me, is once I get fully solidified as a blogger here in Milwaukee, it'd be nice to grab, like, say 3 Milwaukee artists, talk to somebody I've met in like Minnesota, Minneapolis, and be like, let's do a show. Because that's something I was planning for last year. Didn't really work out because a friend of mine, True West, introduced me to somebody that hosts shows out there.
Okay.
We was trying to do a thing where, like, well, let's get 3 Milwaukee artists, they perform out there, then we bring Minnesota artists, bring them out here. I feel like in about maybe 6 more months to a year, that could be something consistent that we're all getting.
I feel like it could be as well, definitely.
And it really gives somebody a chance to see a real new scene. Because, like, even if you have no fans and you perform for a Milwaukee show, you kind of know the feel. Like, you know the Milwaukee energy.
Yeah.
I would really like to see what Milwaukee artists would do if they just be like, yeah, you got a show in Minneapolis next week. Let's have fun.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like that's better for building brands as well, because let's be honest, a lot of times your hometown doesn't see what other people see because of the fact that, like,
You're from here.
yeah, you're from here.
It's almost like you're their baby.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. So like the thing is, we're like this brand new up and coming artist somewhere else.
Mm.
You know, they just see this brand new artist with all this talent performing, and it's not like, oh, that's just Jai or Kendall from down the street. You know, like
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's not like, oh, I see her perform once a month anyway.
And,
you know?
another thing is, I remember Watley also used to tell me this in like during the beginning, because I used to think like, why when I started first dropping music, I'm like, why ain't nobody that I mess with here, you know, supporting me or showing me some support? But
Mhm.
it's like he told me, it was like, one thing about it is the people that you grew up with, you know what I'm saying, especially people that, you know, you back and forth with on a regular basis, they're not going to support you right away.
Yeah.
And I come to learn that. So that's why, you know, I took different routes. That's why that's what came to play when I was like, I started filling out people, and then I started to feel
Right.
if I need to be there, I'm gonna be there.
Right.
If I don't. You know, so yeah.
Here's the thing. I noticed they won't mess with you until they see you gaining traction already.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, even I've seen that. I feel like most of us have personally seen that, where the people closest to you don't take you serious until some other people do, or until some type of outlet takes you serious.
Exactly,
And then
yeah.
it's like, oh, they're actually doing something.
It's
You know?
crazy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy the strangers that will show love because
Before, yeah.
I remember Jay had told me that like some of the shirts were selling. It was from this one girl I met one day and I never seen her again. It was like, so wait, who bought that last shirt? And Jay told me he was. And it's like, we didn't even get to talk. And things were saying, they was like, yeah, she said she liked the shirt, so she took it. And it's just kind of interesting that like random people will like see the design and be like, hey, let me catch that. Hey, let me get that. Or I'll even say for on Instagram, I don't consider them random because we'll follow each other back. But we would follow each other for 3 months and we never talk to each other. It's kind of like a random. And so like when I started posting my merch, there were people I forgot I even followed back in like March, maybe even February. And they was like, hey, when you get a shirt, show me where it is. And I was like, man, I haven't heard from you in a minute, fam.
Yeah.
So like,
and I feel like with
Exactly.
people like that, those are people that truly want to support what you're trying to tell. You know what I'm saying? So it's just at the end of the day, you know,
like the people,
it's about building, bro.
yeah, like once you start somewhere, like the people will. I think it just really comes down to you gotta at least, if you're not going to be serious, you gotta look really serious.
Yeah, exactly.
If you
Put
wanna
on a
turn-
good show if nothing else.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I think eventually, if the goal is to do something professionally and to like make it like where you're monetizing yourself, other companies will look at that too, and then but they go back into your track record. Because I think I like to say I have more of a business mindset. When someone sends me something new, I don't just click the new thing. I look and see what were you up to 3 months ago? What were you up to 6 months? You know, like, you know, are you serious about what you was doing, or did you see I posted a blog and now you kind of want to be just in the motion? Because I take what I do seriously. Like I listen to people's music.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, as
So,
you should.
And so I just act. So everybody else, if they really want to make it pop, you can just apply the same formula. Everything you do.
Really, yeah.
Just be serious, look serious, all that.
Exactly. Be serious, look serious. And that doesn't mean you gotta be all proper. It just means look like you're serious about it.
Because
if you want me to be serious, I will fail every time. I am the biggest goof there is. So.
You gotta be a silly, but like comedians, like comedians know it's like, all right, I'm on stage to be funny, so I need to make sure all of them laugh. Like they probably in the back of their mind, like thinking that way. It's like I have to make them laugh, but luckily they just happen to be a lovable, funny type of person.
Yeah.
So hopefully this all works out.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you working on right now?
Currently, I'm trying to get into more sponsorships.
Okay.
I started out the year, built a team, and we shifted the team to kind of under not like a new name, but we're just all working together.
Okay.
So hopefully through that, I can just do sponsorships and also some music videos. Thinking about getting some better equipment, things like that. But in the meantime, I am just working on the editing I have now.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
So you're trying to get into shooting videos, or you have already started shooting videos?
I've shot a few. I got a couple out right now. I have something out with Spades. Me and Jay, we have like chops of music videos
Yeah.
together, but we have more like visuals and
It's more like
That
snippets.
makes
visuals, yeah.
sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But mostly Tiny, Spades, and Zeus RLR, who I worked with. I'm about to work with Jesus, David, and Sabo.
Okay.
We're working on a project together. We're getting visuals.
Nice.
Behind actually, I'm supposed to see Sabo, I think, after this.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, indeed.
That's
So
funny.
I might pop up on Sabo and Jesus today if they're
Okay.
around each other. Really cool people. If y'all haven't heard
Yeah.
them, shout out to my boy Jesus. I wish I had your hair, bro. Um,
It's Jesus hair.
and I'm telling you, the true Jesus.
White Jesus hair. But
Indeed. That's crazy. It's crazy that there's so many factions. I wonder if I'll be
Right.
wondering about that. I'll be like, I wonder if Jesus had locks.
You know, I
No,
be thinking, I wonder too. I'm like,
Maybe he's
and the Bible say he had hair or wool.
no. It's like, I feel like you had enough time back then too. That
Black
wasn't
people
stressing
hair.
you.
Exactly.
But when it comes down to that, that's pretty much like what I'm into.
Mm,
Also, I want to get into, since I'm in fashion, I've been trying to get more models around me and things, and I've been trying to like pay them to come out to photo shoots and trying to like set up some contracts and things.
okay.
So that's kind of my way out here, saying like if you're someone who wants to be in fashion, things like that, or if you model, there are compensated positions for that. I've worked with a couple people before, and I want to like double that next year.
Okay. That's really cool.
Indeed. And everyone's up. So Kendall, if you want to come through and wear a shirt, it's not just me. Like I said, my brother wears stuff.
Okay.
So.
I got you.
Mhm.
Let me know when. We'll talk about it.
Lovely.
Okay.
And as long as you never camera shy, you gotta, because they're gonna be on you like paparazzi.
Here's the thing. I don't like cameras, honestly. But doing this has definitely helped me get
It's
more
crazy, 'cause
used to it. Because
I-
I really don't like cameras.
I'm like that too.
Really?
Because I remember the first visual we shot, I was like, I
Maybe
don't want to do
he-
this.
he almost-
He
he
made me
almost-
do it though.
We almost had to do one of those things. I was thinking about doing things for a minute. It was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like film stuff around when you do stuff,
Mhm.
and then I'm
Mhm.
just gonna call that a music video.
There you go.
Like, he just-
Because I'm telling
yeah.
you, somebody who's not natural in front of the camera is definitely best to catch us off guard. You get some of
Yeah,
your best
exactly,
shots
yeah.
that way,
I swear,
honestly.
and I swear, y'all be so genuine, and I'm like, I love it because the most camera stuff I have of you is actually on stage.
Oh, you're right.
So that's different because you are actually performing.
Mm,
I guess it's different trying to get people to sit down and be like, all right, we got a photo shoot, vlog. Also, I need you to do an interview.
This,
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Right.
So now your brain got to be 3 different people today.
exactly. Exactly.
And I be feeling sorry for people because I do none of that. I just be behind the camera.
Mm.
It's
Right.
different when you behind the camera instead of in front of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we got you in front of the camera today, so
Indeed. Oh, indeed.
you forgot it was there.
I know. And I'm so used to it's always a different experience too, because even at the Good Vibes show, they I believe they do like the beginning where like they shoot for people.
Mm.
And I got pulled to the side by one of the hosts, and he was like, hey, can what's the name? Can you just do this short thing? And I was like, oh shoot, what do I say? Like, I'm so used to talking, but when you're like typing a blog and things like that, I mean, I got like as much time in the world to say what I want.
Right.
When you want being on the spot, I will give this to people on the scene. That is a tough thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe some of that has to do with the awkwardness when I meet people. Or like when I meet them, and sometimes they may seem kind of standish off. Maybe they really wasn't expecting somebody to go up to them and be
Walk
like,
up to him,
hey,
yeah.
you're you. How you doing?
Right.
And it's crazy because if I want to be honest, Watley is definitely one of them guys that would just walk up to you and do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like
because that's
just-
kind of how me and him met.
I was gonna ask
Yeah.
you about that. Okay, so
Yeah.
tell us how you met.
You want to tell her? You want me
You
to
both
tell
can
her?
tell.
Oh yeah, because it was almost like 2 different ways. Because we first started working, but I'm really bad at a lot of stuff that I do corporately. I'm really good at art, so I lost that job.
Oh.
So, but I'm back I'm working at Milwaukee too, a warehouse. I've been there for 2
Okay.
years, so they dealing
Okay.
with my shenanigans.
You
now.
good there?
But yeah, it's basically
And then I re-met him through gaming.
Yeah.
And then we got in, and then he kind of like got me more into the Milwaukee scene because he's like, you need to go out and do stuff because you look like you want to do stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, he did. It was just
So was there like a story, a moment when you're like, we're gonna be best buddies?
so basically how it all started was I'm gonna tell you how it really started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically was we used to work at a warehouse, and he overheard me talking about a game we well, he don't play it as much no more, but it's a video game that we was both into very heavily. And he used to, because I used to ride a forklift, so I used to have to get stuff down for him. He would always come to me and ask me to, bring it down for him. And then eventually that led into us gaming with each other. And then we started gaming a lot. And then we started hanging out. So then that's when the friendship started to gain. Then a year passed, then 2 years passed. And then like the third year of our friendship, that's when we started just rapping. Because, he, like you said, he used to be in the music scene. So he showed me a couple things where he used to work on and whatnot.
Mhm.
And we used to have this thing where every time we hang out, we'll throw on some beats in the car. And then we would just rap the whole time. And then I came up with the bright idea to become a rapper. And he was like, all right, bet. That's what you want to do. Let's do it. And then this happened. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
So, but I feel like you told me before that you, even if you just figured out in that moment that that's what you wanted to be right now.
Yeah.
I feel like you told me that you knew you wanted to make music since you were a kid.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do that since I was like 7, 8.
It's tough to like take something seriously too, because
It
like
is.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to be on the scene doing something. Like I tried music, but this is actually like my second round for blogging. I used to blog when I did music too, but I mean, sometimes just things happen, and I kind of just fell out of it.
Yeah.
But now that like I'm back and Milwaukee's willing to show each other so much love, or even if it's not full love, just be active and
Exactly.
release some things.
Plus, I'm very
good.
persuasive, I guess you can say, because at first he was like, nah, James, I don't want to do this again. I was like, come on, Watley, let's do it. You
Yeah.
might enjoy it. And then I remember the first time we went to a show. And
It was at wait, that was at Vase, right?
yeah, I think we the first time we
Yeah.
went to the show, like you get that moment where everything moving slow motion.
Mm.
I saw him up there in the front. I was standing in the back and I saw him, and then everything slowed down. I was like, yeah, Watts love this. He just
Yeah.
So after all that, we sat down. Remember, he was in my room at my house, and I was like, this is something we should really get into. And then it took a little bit of persuading, but by the end of the night, he was like, all right, bro, let's do it. And now here we are. So.
And then y'all just jumped into the scene immediately.
Yeah,
like, how'd you know what shows to go to? How'd you know, like,
it was really
how to network?
It was really because of my niece. Because my niece, shout out Vay, she kind of put us on to somebody that's works will run along. Then from there, he had us come to a show. Then I went to my niece show, which when we had that moment, and then from there. This is where he started to mingle a lot, and then he started meeting other people. Then them people started putting him around other people, and then they're from there, then they're from there, and then now
and here we are.
Okay. Yeah. Recapping is kind of crazy.
I might got a job for you. We'll talk later.
You got a job? Oh,
I need you
to.
To. Yes. I might have some shows that I need you to come cover.
Covered it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. Oh yeah, because the main thing for 2024 is I definitely want to get back into the stage life, because I can't at this point. I can't remember the last time I hosted my own show.
I think it's the last one was like when this summer, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like July.
I think it was like July or August.
Yeah, it was July. No, it was July. I think it was July.
Yeah.
You had a Cactus Club show, right?
Yeah, I think it was July.
Yeah.
And that was the last. And speaking of, and shout out to Kelsey at Cactus Club.
I love Kelsey. She's my fave.
I don't know how it started working, but she has some people, and sometimes things just work out for the best. There will be times where like she would get people that will be willing to work, but then she gets people from out of state, all type of places too. So sometimes they can't come through. And randomly on what was like a Saturday, they was like, hey, if you want that show slot, you guys give it a chance. And that's when March happened. And I was like, we hit up I hit up the homie Samuel. He was Peso back then. That's how long it's been. Everyone has a different, like half the artists I know got
Peso
different names.
In my head.
Peso in there. He's Samuel, you Peso in our hearts forever, bro.
In our hearts. In our hearts and our minds.
I hit him up, and I hit a couple other people up. I also hit up Sonny Lou to see if he'll help like get on stage and things like that too. Cause I've met Sonny Lou through Jay, because I was just in the background in the studio. And everyone just kind of showed up all on one day.
Yeah, that was one of our biggest shows. It was crazy. Our first show was one of our biggest.
That's dope.
And that was an experience.
Yeah. Do you feel like that definitely helped break you into the scene more?
Yeah, because
that it had people warmed up to you.
I used to cringe a lot. I remember the first time because I remember the first time Watson came up to me, he was like, yeah, man, you're gonna be on the stage. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, nah, James, just get it out of the way. See if you like it. And then when it happened, it turned out better than what I expected. So it was but like I said, I used to cringe a lot. I used to one of them guys that like I'd rather do it by myself and then show it.
Mm-hmm.
And then but he definitely helped me
that's me too.
come out of that little shell. So
Yeah. I don't even like bringing people to the studio with me who I'm not actually working with because I don't.
exactly.
I'm like, you guys can't hear it till it's done and it's ready and it's perfected.
And
Yeah, you gotta go through that. Double mix first.
Yeah,
and that's how it was. But now it's been times where I think the highest amount of people was in the studio was at the time was like 6 people, wasn't it?
Oh, it'd be a party at the studio. Now when Jay when Jay go to the studio, it's a party.
Yeah.
Now,
You gonna invite me next time?
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
everybody
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna leave after an hour, but
That's fine.
I'm that person. I'll come to network, check everything out, and then I just want to go home.
Sometimes I've been there for times where like features get knocked out. Some people come in, some people come out. Didn't even know someone was gonna do a song, and that's I do think that that's how the studio life should be. That's why hopefully next year I get like something where there's my own building. I do want to have at least kind of like where how Rhymester has, where like he kind of has like everything set up to do music and business, but he just got like a nice booth that's nice and padded and professionally made. Like you can tell someone came in and built it into that room, and that's what I would like to do too.
Okay.
Only thing I need is probably like something to the side of there because I got to host some shows, and I really want to get into open mics because it's hard to get people to go on stage if they've never performed before. And my biggest thing is getting everybody on stage no matter what. And but I know anybody to come through and do one song on an open mic.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
When would you plan that for? Would it be a little further out?
Around March, I want to start doing my own thing for a show. Then right after that, I want to start doing like maybe bi-weekly open mics.
Okay.
If I can secure these venues. So Lord willing, I secure these venues.
That'd be dope.
And I'm forming a small team right now.
Okay.
To get some investing.
Very cool. I love that for you.
Thank you.
I love that for us.
For us, indeed. Yeah, because it's gonna be. Oh yeah,
us. Because what do we say? We're all connected somehow here, even when we don't want to be.
Yeah, so far for me the dream is to like get hired by somebody like XXL or something like that.
Yeah,
to be like
be
a writer.
That'd be awesome.
And I want to. A lot of these big studios, they have a local artist section, so you can write for like a big names, like if Drake drop something, if I get lucky enough, I get to write that for them. But I'll have like my own area where it's like, hey, what's up? So these are all the Milwaukee artists. Have fun.
That'd be dope.
Because of though I like local stuff, if we're all trying to quit our jobs eventually, we will have to
need bigger outlets.
We will have to need to make Milwaukee industry. Even though some people don't like getting industry like that, if we want to set something up like that.
I feel like at the end of the day,
we need to.
It has to be done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
main thing is I think people can do it. I think people are just nervous.
Here's the thing. Y'all don't understand right now. I've like just the amount of conversations that I'm hearing about this type of stuff. I'm like, we're so ready. Because I hear so many people saying this right now. And I'm like, I think we're all just ready to come together and make some money at this point. And like bring it back. We would like to bring it back to each other at this point. But I feel like we are all, a lot of us are in the similar headspace of knowing that we can be a part of Milwaukee teams, but eventually we'll need to be a part of something bigger as well if we're going to actually, bring our city with us.
That's the goal, though. So it's like, I feel like at the end of the day, we can all do that, but at the same time, it's like at the end of the day, we all have a goal. So like, if we can all help each other to get to that goal, you know what I'm saying? Then that's what plays into that 15. Everybody does that.
Exactly.
And that's what I mean by like industry, an industry place, like, because I don't want to be known as a place that, okay, we only have musicians. Like we have people who do podcasts, we have people who are fashion designers, we have bloggers, we have videographers and all that. And there's some people who legit, like as they start getting clout, I've seen people fly all the way out to Atlanta, all the way out to LA to get a music video done. Now, granted, those music videos be fire. Those be like, I'll sit there looking at them, like I feel like I'm watching a movie. So what you spent, what you put in there, that's good. It'd be nice to hear about like an LA dude come out here and be like, hey, I heard about this guy named, say, like Mr. Visuals. I want to go do something with him. He fly out here because Milwaukee's now an industry city.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you just get a hotel here, fly out here for the weekend, and you fly back. And that's when the investors start following everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that I feel
You're
like
onto something.
I feel like that's really all there is to it because
And
everybody-
the time comes down to us really
Yeah.
how serious everybody gets at one time. Because
Mhm.
I think Milwaukee's going to end up that way eventually. It's just how soon will it happen?
Yeah.
But
Depends on us.
We need to get serious, but we also need to get on the same page.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's
And
the thing. I feel like a lot of us are
yeah.
serious,
But
now
now
we
all
need to be on the same page.
And
A couple
also,
boring
you know what I'm
conferences.
saying?
We need
Yeah,
to have,
right.
we need to have those conferences like
Yeah.
like a really we really need to get everybody in the room and just be really bored for about 2 hours and hash out what we're gonna do.
A town hall meeting.
A town hall
Yeah.
for artists. That would be
That'd be
dope.
funny. Yeah.
No, that's definitely a sitcom waiting to happen though. Like just the like Milwaukee's town hall of
And
artists.
it's crazy because I feel
Mm.
like we end up doing that. We find out that all of us have the same goal in common,
Mhm.
and I
Exactly.
feel like everybody always had this mindset like maybe I'm a little bit farther than that, or maybe I'm too far to even try to mingle with that person, or it's just like everybody got everything. We all, as an artist,
No,
I
that
should say, we all have that common goal. So it's
Yeah.
like we all can just help each other in the end. Everybody would get what they are striving to be as a blogger, artist, podcaster, videographer, photographer, all that.
Yeah.
and most of it's pretty simple. All of our goals are simple.
Exactly.
Not easy, but it is
No,
simple.
not easy, but doable.
Mhm.
And yeah, simple. What are you working on right now? Or like what projects have you put out recently?
So I just recently put out my first project. It's called 26 to Tape. It was a project I was working on for a while. It's basically like the introduction of my I call it the new era. It's basically the introduction to I Know Jai, because I used to be known as JJ Rocket. I don't know why I said that. JJ Rocket. I used to be known as JJ Rocket, and that was the name I came up with in the beginning. And due to being growth reasons, I was like, maybe I need to have something a little more mature, because I'm getting older. So it's like, and JJ Rocket was linked to a lot of younger version me. So I was like, it's time to change. So then I came up with the I Know Jai name, and then I released my project underneath that, along with a different sound from what I started. Because when I started, I was making more like rave music, I guess you can say. It was like a mixture of different type of sounds. But now that I know how I want to sound and whatnot, that's basically what 26 to Tape is. Because it was
Okay.
because I turned 26.
Mm.
And that's basically like what I'm going to be sounding like in the future, and everything else. Like that's what I'm trying to push. So
Okay. So you're saying you found your sound this year.
yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Because I was going through a lot of different. Like if you were ever to listen to like my old music, it would sound like this, and then the next one would sound like this, and then the next one would sound like that, and the next one would sound like that. So it's like me. I was trying to figure out which one I wanted to really sound like.
Okay.
So
That's one of the best parts of the process, though. Like the exploration phase. It's fun.
it was.
Yeah,
It
I
was
remember
there-
the
it
Hurt
was-
face.
yeah.
I remember Hurt with Sonny and Luke.
Yeah.
When that came out, I was like, this does not sound like Fuck It at all.
Yeah,
Because I get the
exactly.
lead. So
Yeah.
so when you hear people's music and you can listen, you're like, this is different. This
Yeah.
is the
'Cause
same artist.
Because the song that he's talking about, it was doing. I was trying to see if I could do like rage music. So I did rage. I think it was indie.
Mhm.
Hurt was an indie song. Then rave, and then I even tried to dip and dabble into like the hip hop, like Gunner / Lil Baby sound. I didn't even try to do that, but I was like, no.
This ain't it,
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm gonna just do this, and then that's what 26 Tape is.
Okay.
basically, yeah.
So then how would you describe your sound now?
Ambient, like it's a lot of more melodic. It's like melodic rap, I guess you can say. I'm tapping into like a lot of newer genres, like new jazz, plug and B, like I'm actually going back into like a little bit of rage, a little bit. And then there's another thing I found out about called like cloud rap. That's basically what melodic rap is.
Okay.
So it's basically like that, because when I get behind the mic, my voice basically coincides with that the most. Because whenever I try to do like a little louder music, it sounds like I'm throwing out a pitch and whatnot. So it's like, let me just do this.
Yeah.
So that's what I was like, I'm gonna just do that. And so basically that's what I worked on and what's coming next. So yeah. Because when he put up to my house this like a couple hours ago, I was literally writing a song. So yeah. To a little bit of a rage beat, I guess you can say. And so like there's one thing about me is I'm always writing a lot, and I feel like I always used to tell him, I even tell Zeus this too. I say I got an endless song in my head. So like one way I might feel at 2:00, it may not be the same as I feel at 5:00.
Indeed, but I'm gonna get the bars in this phone.
Exactly.
That's the way to go. Honestly, that's what I do too. Like honestly, I'll just be in some type of mood, and then for some reason it just be a bar or 2 or 3 going in my head. I like, hold up, that's kind of cold, and I have to stop to put it in my notes.
Down, yeah.
Do I come back to it sometimes? Huh?
You dropping some?
I got a couple things, a couple singles. I'll be dropping probably January or very early February.
Okay, the blogger side is looking forward to it. I like to stay up to date.
Yes. So yeah, I'll be dropping soon.
Nice. Yeah. Single. Wait, so single as in single for an album, or a single as in
just a single? I have so many half recorded songs or half finished songs or songs that are not mixed, but I do have a handful that are finished, and I haven't released anything since like last year, September. Okay. So I'm like, I was focusing on some other things like this and life. But yeah, I'm definitely ready to get back out with the music and kind of just see how far it goes this time around, because I feel like I have more knowledge than I did the first time around, more connections, definitely know how to market myself better than I did. So
that's one thing I learned too.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of a lot of better marketing opportunities. That also played a good thing with being behind the camera. It was very camera shy in the beginning, so I definitely can understand how you feel, Kendall, when it comes to that. But you know what I'm saying? It's like if you want to be able to show people that you're serious, like we was talking about earlier, you gotta do it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then I be getting jitters, especially since it's been so long since I dropped. Like I literally feel like it's my first time dropping. Except I'm starting from experience this time.
And it makes sense still, because like it's kind of like you guys said, if you're serious, other people take you seriously, and you never know who's watching, and so you do got to think about that. If someone puts the camera in your face, like, so tell me about this, it's like, all right, I want to do this perfect because I don't know who's going to come across this on Instagram. And then because Instagram's a crazy place,
right?
And
it's crazy. I remember not to cut you off.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I remember it was a clip of Tyler Creator. I don't know if y'all seen it.
I already know which one you're talking about.
He was just scrolling through YouTube, and he found someone I was a local rapper.
Is it Orange something, right?
Yeah, it was like I forget his name, but he was like, and I've been listening to that song ever since.
Indeed, indeed, some people start off with really only 30 views on something,
but out of them 30 views, it could be somebody very
exactly. You don't know who it is, right?
So a lot of people get famous on accident because someone will hear a song and put it on like the backtrack or something. They'll do a dance or something. They'll be I've seen people just do gardening and people be like, oh, I'm gonna Shazam that. That sounds like a nice song.
Exactly. I do that I find myself doing that too. So
no, that's how I be finding a lot of these like pop. It's fun because there's pop people in Milwaukee, but I mean pop is like EDM more pop. But like I'll be listening to the background and stuff, and now I'm a fan of certain whole genres that I thought I'd never mess with. Yeah. Just because I was online, I'm like, the background of what he's doing is really good. So yeah. Yeah. So to all artists out there too, be entertaining and put your music behind it too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
that's part of marketing.
No more freelance. If you're gonna make them laugh, put your song behind it.
Exactly.
No more free laughs.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, that actually kind of paralyzes me too, because I've had people say to me, whatever you put out next should be gotta be your best stuff, because you're being watched. Like, people have told me that I am being watched, and that made me like even more nervous. So I'm like, now whatever I put out has to be like,
Yeah, but I used to say that too. I remember because we have a lot of like business talks like all the time, even over like the game, which is crazy. And I always heard of a saying. Nobody haven't told me this before, but I've always heard it from like this like on being online, scrolling through reels and stuff. Like they always say like in your music, people always just be able to sense some type of growth. So it's basically be like whatever you put out last time, what you put out now should be better than that,
right,
or close, or close to it.
At least have the same authenticity.
Yeah,
right.
You never want to just start putting out stuff that's
just putting out stuff just to be putting it out.
Yeah.
So it's like, because I feel like fans and just people in general can sense when you put time and effort behind some of your music.
That's true.
So so that's why like a couple people that listen to my music, they said like the music I just recently put out, it was like that was probably one of your best music. So I was like, okay, now I definitely gotta either be just as good as that or better than that.
And that's the thing. The goal should be growth and not perfection.
Exactly.
Just show that you're growing every single time you put something out. So
you'll naturally be able to polish stuff. I assume that, like, because like you're using your voice, and it's pretty much just like being an athlete. You're just gonna naturally get better at what you're
doing.
Or you could like pull an Andre and switch it up on whenever you feel like.
Like, stop playing flute.
It's like, I'm actually great at many things.
Yeah,
I'll show you.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been a great conversation.
Agreed.
Does anybody have any last thoughts before we wrap up? I know y'all got some things going.
I'll let Jay go first.
Okay.
Unless you want me to go first.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, because I said about everything I wanted to talk about. Is, at the end of the day, I can't stress enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for like local artists, period, just in Milwaukee and anywhere actually, you know what I'm saying? Just keep going. Gotta show consistency, like you probably hear all the time, and like enjoy what you're doing. Don't try to, because I learned this too as a beginner artist as well. Like, stop trying to go viral right away. Like, enjoy what you're doing, because the more you enjoy and be more passionate, the more people can sense that. And you know what I'm saying, I definitely sense that since I've been like being way more passionate in what I'm doing, more people are gravitating to my music. So it's like, you enjoy yourself and have fun, somebody else out there gonna be on the same thing as you, and they're gonna be like, oh, I like the music he's making because I can sense this is what he's really doing, and this is what he what he loves to do. So at the end of the day, be yourself and have fun when it comes to this. I mean, because trying to be like somebody else is not going to help you get nowhere.
Right.
So,
you're right. People sense passion.
Yeah, they do.
They can
I don't know how they do it.
And the thing is, because you can hear what emotional tone somebody is using
exactly
when they're recording. And you don't want it to sound like you don't got no passion.
Exactly. So that's all I can really say is be passionate about anything you're doing, whether it's anything really. Even if it's flipping a burger, be passionate about it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
be the best damn burger flipper.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And seriously, whatever you're good at, just be a good one.
Be a good one.
Or whatever you. What is the saying? whatever you do, whoever you are, whatever you are, be a good one.
Or whatever you want to be. Like,
yes,
you could do it. You just gotta you gotta want it more than anything. So
exactly.
Yeah, that plays into like being serious and in order to be taken serious, you gotta be serious.
Right.
But at the same time, have fun.
Exactly. What you got for us?
Not too much.
Okay.
I want to say I appreciate moments like this, and pretty much, and to anybody watching, and the people who will see clips and things like that, always make sure that you find a reason to do stuff like this. You got to get a room full of people that do what you do or do something similar or on your scene and just get to talking to them.
Exactly.
And you can't be. I got to what I'm doing and connections with people, and I'm still like I consider this like, of course, still the low level of things. So if you're trying to get to a point where you're at least moving forward, you got to start talking to people.
Exactly.
And you can't be afraid ever.
Networking will change your life when it comes to this.
Yeah,
it really will.
Really,
it really did for me.
Really,
So
really.
All right. Well, thank you to all of our listeners. It has been a great episode, and thank you to Watley for coming through. Thank you for Jay, aka I Know Jai, for coming through. Check his music out. Check the blog out, and y'all have a great rest of your day.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our final destination.
That is not even my show.
Our trip has come to an end. As always, I
That's
appreciate
crazy.
you for taking this journey with me
clapping.
and allowing me to unpack my thoughts along the way. That means a lot to me.
We didn't even
This episode will be coming out soon.
This is so chaotic.
As always, let me know what you thought about this episode. You can join the Facebook page, Conversations with Coco, and leave your thoughts there.
Why is she
You
still
can send me a
talking?
message directly and let me
30-something
know.
seconds.
Or you can click the link in the description box of this episode and leave me a voice message, and I will add it to a future episode unless you tell me not to. Again, thank you for spending time with me today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I love you.
She's still talking.
Until next time, I'm going to call y'all back. Bye.
I definitely ran out of some space.
Oh, don't say it didn't record any of it.
Oh no, it recorded like an hour. That's what I needed. And then I was like, wait, I ain't deleted a single video from back in the day.
Get your hard drive.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I got like 4 other videos that are an hour and a half, like minute long.